We are the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association.
We are the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association.
Business in Pennsylvania.
And business in Pennsylvania is our business.
I want to talk about Hanna Penn.
Yeah.
This is an interesting story. Now, we've talked about it on the show before for people who don't know, but Hanna Penn, for you, it was something that you wanted to see some recognition for.
Right.
Talk a little bit about Hanna.
Yeah, so it's a fun story, so I'll try to do this fast.
Do it fast.
Every once in a while you get to do something really fun as First Lady, but that has some impact again. That word keeps coming up. So it started just by, as First Lady, I talked to a lot of young people, and I especially enjoy talking to young women. And, of course, they wanted to know, how do you get to be First Lady? And I tell them, well, it's a little tricky. You either have to marry a bachelor governor, and there aren't too many of them around, or you have to marry somebody who's going to be a governor, and, you never know how they're going to turn out. So a little challenging. But, I said, instead of being First Lady, why don't you think about being the first woman governor? And so I talked to my friend, Kim Sayet, in Philadelphia. She used to be the director of the Historical Society of Pennsylvania. And I told that story, and she told me, well, we really already had a woman governor. Her name was Hanna Penn. Now, I took Pennsylvania history. I don't remember a woman governor at all. And so I started researching the whole story of Hanna Penn, which is an absolutely fascinating story about
William Penn's wife, by the way.
William
for people
Penn's
who don't know.
second wife. Yeah. She married him. He was a widower. And the connection to being governor really is because she raised his children, but he became incapacitated at the end of his life and then passed away. And so Kim told me the story of Hanna Penn, who stepped in when he was incapacitated, and she actually managed Pennsylvania for 6 years until he died, and then she became the executrix and proprietress of Pennsylvania, the colony, and she managed Pennsylvania for 8 more years. So
it's funny. It seems like they went out of their way to make up some different name so they wouldn't have to call her governor, right?
Well, they didn't. I think that the men were called governor, but they weren't really a governor as we think about it. He was basically the owner of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And then she became the owner. But interestingly enough, she had the ultimate financial and legal responsibility for the colony of Pennsylvania, and she had more power during that period than any other woman other than the Crown of England. So a really interesting person. And during that time when she was governor, she retired a serious debt that the colony had. She settled a border dispute with Maryland. Apparently Maryland, wanted to take over a little bit of Pennsylvania, so we had to push them back. And maintain friendly relations with the Native Americans, and kept the vision, the religious freedom vision that our colony, Pennsylvania, was founded on. So I was in the governor's office one day, and if you've ever visited the office, all of the early leaders and all of the governors have their portraits around the top of the office.
Beautiful office, by the way.
It's gorgeous office. But I noticed that, and the years that they served are also there. So I noticed that William Penn was given credit for the years that he was incapacitated, and Hanna ran the colony. But even worse, next to him was a portrait of a man and the years when Hanna Penn was actually managing the colony. So we did a little research on that man, and we found out that he was Hanna Penn's agent. And not only did she hire him, but she fired him twice. And so we decided that this was something that had to change. We want the young people, especially the young women, to know that there was this amazing woman who impacted early Pennsylvania, and really, although she wasn't called governor, she basically had the same responsibilities that a governor would have.